welcome to the channel. I'm Mike, and today we're going to take these iPhone 5s and make a good working one. So what we have here is iPhone 5 that came out in the fall of 2012. The very first one with a 4-inch screen and the first with this lightning port here, right? The first with the headphone jack on the bottom, and it was a new design at the time. It went on to keep this design, well, at least loosely, for the iPhone 5S, the iPhone SE kept this design. And we're seeing hints of it now with the iPhone 12 mini. Kind of comes close to this. The squared off edges and so on. So what we have here are 4 that are different states of disrepair. This one seems to have almost everything, at least from the outside. Home button and all that, screen, just a cracked screen here. This one's missing the motherboard, okay? This one seems to have everything from the outside. Has some tape here. It's not the best shell. It's missing a SIM card tray. Let's see, SIM card tray is missing from this one too. This one's missing the battery, which is not a big deal, and obviously the screen. All right, so we're going to see which one can give us the best frame. Just from looking at it real quick, it looks like this frame has the least nicks and scratches. And this one too, similar. This one's okay. And a working screen, working battery, and come up with a phone that's working. All right, so first things first, iPhone 5. I want to put that to the side. I usually use something like this. This helps you organize all of the parts in the phone, all the screws and components that go in. But what I'm going to do instead is make my own. All right, I'm going to do it on this sheet of paper here. All right, this is what we have for now. This kind of better represents what we'll need. I put double-sided tape so we can put the screws on here and they won't move. It'll serve the same purpose that the magnets served on this screw mat. Normally these are great, but for the purpose of the video, I think you can see the screws a little bit better and the layout if I do something like this. We want to see what the phones with screens do when we try to power them on. I'm using this Anker charger. Anker chargers are amazing. They do a great job. And one thing that's an advantage when you're using a wireless charger like this is that it will stop charging if the phone stops accepting a charge. So immediately what I see is that this phone is giving me this Apple symbol with some messaging on the top, almost like the old Windows load up screen, right? So I happen to be very familiar with this problem. All right, let's see if my old troubleshooting for this works. First, so that you guys can see this better, let's see if I could try to remove this here. Okay. I'll show you again real quickly what I was getting. You can see it a little better. First, you get the Apple symbol and things look good, but then you start getting that messaging. So happen to know from experience that this means you have a bad front camera. This is my toolkit by Best Made. Best Made is amazing, pretty expensive, but they last years. I think this one I've had for about 4 years. I'll hold all my tools in it for repairs. I'll go through what each thing is. For this repair, we'll need a Penelope screwdriver. Penelope screwdrivers are needed to open the bottom of the 4S and going forward. Actually, the 4 CDMA and newer. Phillips. Accessimo to open the phone. A little tweezer for screws that aren't magnetized and need to be like pulled out. A flathead and a plastic spudger. You always want to use a plastic spudger when you are disconnecting cables. All right. So this is the phone. I'm going to remove should have showed you this. We're going to remove the 2 pentalobe screws on the bottom. All right. After that, go in the bottom here. Get this open. All right. Now we're open. I can see that there's some rust here. So this phone's been water damaged. Now, the first thing you want to disconnect is the cables holding down the plate that hold the battery down on the motherboard. So that's just 2 screws. I like to put them where they relatively were removed. We have the first example of a screw that isn't magnetized. The one to the very right that's holding down the LCD cables is, I remember now, is not magnetized. So you won't be able to lift it out with a magnetized screwdriver. So all right, now that we have the screen removed, I'm going to use a brand new screen and see if it powers on. What I'll do first is try to just not have the front camera connected at all and see whether it'll power on completely and load the OS. Still seems to be doing the same thing, just cycling on and off and give you that message. So front camera is not the problem, but actually didn't have the battery connected. Let's connect the battery. Staying on a little bit longer, but we're still getting that message on the top. Okay, let's see what happens. Restarts again, same thing. So this here might be shot. I'm going to move this to the side, move this rusted screen to the side, and see what we have as the next most complete phone. And that's this iPhone 5 here. All right, this one is giving us the battery symbol as if it's charging. So I'm going to let it charge and see what we get. I just remembered that sometimes it's the charging port that makes this cycle on and off. So I'm trying a new charging port, but nothing right now. Let's stay focused and get on to the next phone. We'll revisit this one. This one's taking a while to turn on. So to speed things up here, I'm going to stop charging it, even though it looks like it's accepting the charge, but who knows how long it'll take, right? So let's try a brand new battery that I have. All right, that down there next to the other pentalobe, and Isosimo the bottom. Now here, there's something that I run into often when you're opening a phone that has a crack in it. Just be careful. I'm starting right near it, but I'm being careful. These don't have adhesive for waterproofing, so you don't get as much resistance when you're opening. All right, same screws. Of course, you always start with whatever is holding down the battery, because you want to disconnect the battery before you start disconnecting anything else. So nothing shorts. Okay. All right, cut those 3 screws, this out, and disconnect the battery. Now, let's connect a brand new battery. The original battery has 1440 milliamp hours, and this battery has 18. Wow, nice. I'm going to just hold it down and turn it on because I have nothing to hold down as far as the plate goes. Nothing. Let's see. Maybe it's dead. Maybe it arrived dead. Try to charge it. Turns on immediately. Let's see. Will it stay on? Nope. Cycles on and off. Just like the other one. I'm going to remove this battery. Okay, with the iPhone 5, I use this iFixit battery removal. I'm gonna get underneath here and pry it up. All right, looks like the battery's charging now. We're going through the same thing again, waiting for the battery to charge. Okay, now that we know that this is remaining on and so it's really charging it, I'm going to bring in a high-powered charger that I have plugged into the wall to see if we can get a little speed on this. Shows that it's still charging, but nothing yet. Let's give it another 5 minutes. All right, it's finally powering on. Let's see if it remains on. Looks like, okay, looks like the OS is loading. Oh, turned on. All right. You can tell it has an old OS because the way the signal bars look here. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know what to guess. iOS 11 or something. Wow, this is so old school. Some password that I don't know because I don't know this phone. It's staying on. So this is the most hopeful out of all of them. It's staying on. We don't know what's wrong with it, or for right now, I'm going to disconnect the power. All right, good. So it can stay on its own with just the battery connected. And now I'm going to power it off. Wait a couple seconds for it to power off completely. Usually you could see a faint little swirl here showing that it's powering off. I still see that there. Maybe you can see it, I'm not sure. It's almost off, almost. It's taking a while. Okay, it's completely off. Once it's off, disconnect the battery and move that to the side. All right, so what I want to do next is disconnect the LCD. Put that to the side and put this new battery in. There's just 2 points of adhesive back here. Just take the tape that's goes over them, off. And I usually like to connect the battery, then fit it in after that. Hold on. That way I'm sure the battery connects. Actually, it just disconnected. That's fine, because that's what I was going to do next. All right. So this doesn't, this is the screen that we just had on here that's not broken. Like this one's broken. We're going to move the home button over. So the home button has 2 screws holding it down, holding the plate down. Put that down here. Now carefully use a flathead to get underneath the adhesive here on the home button. All right? Don't want to rip this home button flex cable. Put that down here, and then take out the actual home button. All right, what's often the case is that there's a little dirt around the home button that you want to remove that prevents it from going in and out of the home button cavity, right? All right, that didn't really have much, so I'm going to put this down here. Try to keep it straight so that the square appears straight on the other side. Put the 2 screws down. 1, 2. All right. Try to make this flat. So with this home button, the way this operates is you press this and it will complete a circuit with when it these 2 gold pieces connect to these 2 leads here. Often when the home button's not working, it may be the home button, but it may be the whole charging port that needs to be replaced that connects to these 2 pieces. All right. Try to make sure the rear camera is as flat as possible. Here it looks like it's sticking out a little bit, so if it's sticking out, then the screen cannot sit flat. All right, battery's disconnected. We're going to connect the LCD cables 1 cable at a time. 1. Before I put any plates back in, good way of checking to see if the charging port's good. Just put the just connect power there, and it should power on the phone. But now we're getting cycling. Hold on. I think it doesn't like the front camera here, because I don't think I had it connected before. Let's see. Disconnect battery, disconnect front camera. See if we get the same result. Now we get nothing. Oh, sorry, the battery wasn't connected. All right, battery's connected now. Let's put the front camera back on. Okay, we're getting that messaging on top again. All right, let's see if it's the front camera. Disconnect. Disconnect the battery as well, just to reboot it. Now it's powering on, it looks. Let's see if it restarts. All right, it looks like it's booting up. Sometimes you get like this brightness that changes, and then you get the vibrate. That usually lets you know that it's going to move forward and load the iOS. All right, it loaded, it's on. We can't tell what the percentage is right now, but we do know that the front camera that I disconnected is causing a problem. So I'm going to disconnect the power again, going to shut it down, and we're going to replace the front camera. All right. I don't know why the front camera is causing it to restart. It's a brand new front camera, from what I understand. But this is our chance to learn about the front camera. All right. Okay, here we are. This is the front camera assembly here. We have two screws holding down this plate. Take those two off. They're magnetized, so they'll come off easily. Put them up here. For ease, we'll put the plate that goes with it right next to it. All right, and the ear speaker. That's what you got there. All right. All right, we'll remove the front camera and put a brand new one. This one's not easy. There's a rubber piece that I always put in, and it's not staying there. The plate seems to be getting in the way. Okay. We're gonna have to go with a different way here. Oh, sorry. This is the wrong front camera. Excuse me. This front camera here belongs to the 5C or the 5S or the SE. SE first generation 2016. You can see it has 4. You see the front camera for the 5 has only 2 gold pieces there. All right. So this was the wrong front camera. We're gonna go and find the right front camera. Maybe we'll pull it from another screen. Let's see. We're not sure that this one isn't working. We just know that the screen's broken. So the same there. Should have put tape on that. See, there's a difference between it's taped and not taped. Side. Okay, that fit on there a little bit easier, but not quite. But anyway, want to move forward with that. Make sure it stays. This down. This one. Okay. Just in case the battery's too low. This we identified as a bad front camera, so we'll dispose of it. Let's put it there. Meantime, let me put some tape down. Okay, looks like it's okay. Front camera is still connected and it's remaining on. All right, let's move on. And we'll connect the plates covering the LCD cable. We'll use the least rusted of these plates. I'm going to put the top one first here, and then the second. One screw goes through both plates, so I put that one first just to get them both down at the same time. Not too, I don't screw it too hard. I don't do that with anything. Don't screw anything down too hard. The phone just enough, and it allows me to still maneuver the plate around and line up the screws. Still powers on just fine. I'll be careful closing this. All right. Every step you check, still powering on. Put 2 screws on the bottom. Pentalobe screwdriver to screw these in. And you have a working iPhone 5. Okay, so you can see here this square is a little crooked. That's why I was saying to have it as straight as possible inside, but it doesn't affect the way it works. It's still functioning. Yeah, the home button's still working. But ideally, this square would be completely straight and, you know, look the way it's supposed to. See this back here, has some scratches and stuff, but this phone is so old, you know, can't expect that much from it. All right, even the ringer on and off is working. We can't check anything else because I don't have the password for this. I'm going to try to restore this back to factory, and I'm not sure if back then these phones were connected to iCloud. It might be iCloud locked. All right, we'll be back. So we've restored the iPhone 5 back to factory settings. connected it to iTunes, did a full restore, and now, you know, it's usable. Luckily, well, actually, yeah, created a password, set up as new phone, and it's asking for Apple ID. That's how you know it's not iCloud locked. So if you have an iPhone 5 or earlier, it's likely that it hasn't been connected to an iCloud, and it's possibly, you know, usable. But, you know, what are you going to do with an iPhone 5 in this day but, you know, play music or have it as a backup phone? All right, so that's it for the iPhone 5. Next week, I plan on doing the iPhone 4S. 4S is 1 year older than this one, right before they changed the screen size, and the headphone was on top. Let me see if I can grab one for you. Now we're done with the iPhone 5. This is what we have in the 4S generation. All right. All of these here. These look like 4S's, 4S, 4S, wait, 4, I mean, and then 4 again. I'll show you how to identify these. These all look almost the same, but they have some distinguishing features on them that differentiate them. All right, that's it for today. Thank you. Like and subscribe.